Hi, this is James Page for Frontline Research here at Eurosatory 2024. I'm on the Codec DTC stand and I'm about to talk to Nathan Rijckmans, who's Business Development Manager. It's very nice to talk to you. Thanks very much for taking some time to talk to us today. There's lots to do and lots to see on the stand, but there's one particular item we want to focus on a little bit in this interview, which you're holding on to there, which is part of the Sentry mesh system that you use. If you can tell us a bit more about how that works.
So the Sentry mesh is the soldier element to Codan DTC's wider military communications portfolio. It's known as one of the smallest and lightest soldier mesh radios on the market, and it's particularly identified for its modular architecture.
Okay, so being modular has benefits in lots of different ways, but one of them being is the ease of being able to buy different parts of a system.
Exactly that, yeah. The radio is considered as a component part of a soldier ecosystem. So military end users and military procurement managers are trying to move away from large, clunky procurement programs where we have to buy a single combat net radio system, a radio with a dedicated battery, dedicated antenna system, headset, all the peripherals that go with it. Mainly because the research and the procurement cycle involved in deploying such a program can't keep up with the pace of warfare and technical innovation. So the idea of a modular radio is it frees military procurement from being locked into one single vendor type. The radio simply becomes almost a hot swappable element of a constantly evolving soldier ecosystem.
Sure, because nobody wants to get locked into something which then goes out of date. Is that the concept that we talked about, that we have heard about here, about spiral procurement?
Exactly that. Yeah, so it's where the military identifies that they have a need for military communications over, let's say, 5 or 10 years, but they don't want to be locked into a single solution for those 5 or 10 years because that radio platform won't be able to keep up with the pace of development. So spiral procurement is where we're talking about a 10-year radio program, for example, where we may well want to change elements of it year on year, including even the radio or hot swapping out the headset or a battery. So able to compartmentalize and evolve the soldier ecosystem without having to change everything in one go.
Which makes a lot of sense. A lot of benefits for those maybe who are back trying to handle the procurement and think about making sure we're keeping up with what's happening in the field. But it's got other benefits if you are out in the field, because not all situations and not all soldiers are the same.
Exactly, yeah. So if we take the example of an infantry company, let's say we've got 120 people. With the combat net radio, we'll be talking about all 120 people all using the same type of radio. And that combat net radio could be in the order of $15,000. And it's fairly obvious that not every user in that rifle company needs such a high performance radio. So a modular system allows us to compartmentalize user requirements. We could issue 120 basic, disruptively priced, simple, small radios, and let's say 90% of the company is going to just be using this as a basic radio. They'll have a connected battery and a connected headset, and that's them. But we might have a signaler who also needs then to branch that into another radio network. We'd have a forward deployed unit that needs to branch it into 2 batteries at once. We might have a JTAC who wants to connect in a certain type of smart binocular or another sensor system. And what that means is we can use a basic radio as a starting block for everything, and then we can branch out into wider systems only for those operators that need it. So we compartmentalize requirements, and above all, we compartmentalize the military spend.
So it's got fabulous flexibility in the field and fabulous flexibility for those maybe looking at some of the costs and looking at some of the ways to make that equipment.
Yes.
Great. It's a fantastic product in a great range, as we can see here, which we could go on and talk about in the future. But for now, that's very kind, Nathan, for taking us through it. Appreciate you talking to us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much.